So the day of reckoning is here for Johnny Somali, and that's a story I've actually been following for quite some time. I've seen some videos on it before, but now finally it looks like he's gonna spend some time in Korean prison. For those of you guys who don't know, he's an American streamer who went to Korea and started doing all sorts of crazy things. Like he went to a convenience store, bought one of those ramen soups, started spilling it all over, screaming crazy things. He was blasting music through this little speaker that he had. He was just disrespecting everybody around him. You guys know the type. So I believe that's one of the charges that he's getting. The other one is for, I believe, going to like a war memorial and then making out with the statues. I don't know, some crazy things. He's got a lot of charges, honestly. So I found this video by Atozi, I'm not really sure, but he's got a lot of subs. Go subscribe. 2 million subs. Let's go. Let's watch this video. Let's react to it as we go.
Oh boy. So we just got out of the Johnny Somali October 29th trial date, and it's safe to say he's going to be stuck here for a lot longer. Obviously, Johnny has been facing 8 charges for a while now. 2 deepfake charges, 4 business disruption charges, and 2 misdemeanors. But
see, so that was the scene from the restaurant. But once you guys start getting to know his story, like even with those deepfakes, he met this girl and they spent some time together. Then she left and he made a deepfake of them making out.
As we found out in last week's court date, Johnny ended up suing Yoon for assault with a baton, deepfakes, and stalking. Or, well, technically he was pressing charges against him. And I mean, that may or may have not happened because, you know, we have video of it. So they ended up settling that case, and in the settlement, they both dropped their charges on each other. So Johnny traded 3 charges dropped for 1 with Yoon. And there's no real reason for why
that's a good
that wouldn't be accepted. So we're just going to assume that one of those deepfake charges are gone, leaving him with 7 charges left and a maximum sentence potential of roughly 12 years and a minimum sentence of 2 years. But there's one big problem for him, because they need the streamer by the name of Bong Bong to testify and to
imagine that, going to Korea trying to be funny for views and then getting 12 years in Korean prison. I'm pretty sure he's not going to get 12 years, but
put it lightly,
or maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll try to make an example out of him. As they should.
3 characters involved: Johnny, Bong Bong, and Youngman. Johnny needs no introduction anymore, as everyone knows him as the dude who acts like he has a room temperature IQ. He's been harassing people on the street abroad for content for a couple of years now for quote-unquote fame and money.
Why are you bullying people in other countries? For money, like for clout.
But in reality, he makes less than a minimum wage worker in the state of Georgia and lives in a...
That's crazy. Wait, what? The monthly wage is $5 per hour. Wait, he makes less than that? There's no way. From live streaming? There's no way these idiots go to these other countries, act like that, and they make like $5 a month.
Bunk bed with the last person on earth who barely tolerates him, Hank Yu. Allegedly, Johnny owes him roughly $30,000 because he doesn't have any money and completely relies on Hank to live. Hank is also currently banned from the United States, but that's...
Then why are you doing all this stupid shit? Just pivot, bro. Pivot.
It's just like a whole nother story. This whole story, though, is just like the slowest and most dragged out train wreck that makes it very clear to never harass strangers on the street and disrespect people's cultures for your content, as clearly it backfired massively. Now, for the other 2.
Not only did it backfire by him possibly going to prison, I mean, he is going to go to prison, we'll see for how long, but then also just not getting any money from it. Bro, at least if you're doing something crazy like that, if you're one of those comedians that went to the Riyadh festival, you know, you are breaking human rights, but at least you're getting paid for it, bro. You're not even getting paid.
Youngman, we mentioned in my last video. He's one of the 4 Korean IRL streamers who wanted to make sure Johnny didn't harass more people for content. So they kept tabs on where he was, and when he acted out, they checked him multiple times. But the clip where Johnny ended up running for his life, that was Youngman, who disarmed Hank and chased him around with Hank's baton. And doing...
with the baton, dude.
So, while streaming was incredible...
That looked like an FPV. I wish they made a Oculus game like that.
But then, for some reason, he decided...
where you chase streamers down the streets and just beat them up.
...to live stream himself, throwing multiple bricks through the courthouse windows during the time South Korea was under martial law. So he ended up being tried alongside of 60 other people in an expedited trial and thrown into prison. And this became massive leverage for Johnny, as they ended up settling last week after Johnny pressed charges against Youngman for the incident that we mentioned earlier, as they agreed to drop the charges on each other. Then finally, you have Bong Bong, a Korean streamer who's gained a following in the gutters of the internet, because from everything I've seen of her, something's off. But she decided to stream with Johnny last year, instantly regretting
the gutters of the internet, bro.
Because after the stream, he lied and bragged about them being together and showed the deep fake of them kissing on his stream while bragging. And what's important is he did so in a very humiliating way. He was like, haha, look at this, look at we did. What we'll later find out is he claims that he didn't do it in a humiliating way, but unfortunately he live streamed himself doing so. So because Johnny yet again is his own star witness against himself, it made it very easy for Bong Bong to go to the police station, press charges, and now this is a serious offense in Korea. And because of that one...
I want to know what's in the box, bro. Just tell me what's in the box. It's an interesting video, but I just saw it with the corner of my eyebrow. I want to know what's inside.
Single charge, he's now facing a decade in prison over there. And that's what the trial we're covering today is all
Let's
about.
go.
But first, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Cooper. Because every year, shoppers miss out on billions of dollars in savings if they just apply discount codes that are available to the public. The only problem, most people have no idea where to find them, and they often take time to find. And a certain app that did this back in the day, they're still facing lawsuits.
Yeah,
and let's be real, I feel like a lot of people still have Honey PTSD from when they got caught replacing creators' referral codes and swapped them out with their own. And they did so when people were just trying to check to see if they had any available coupons. But thankfully, there's an...
Do you guys remember Honey? Do you guys use it still? I was just thinking like...
honest coupon web extension called Cooper. And they...
There you go. I hope this one's not going to turn out to be another scam.
They do the same with a twist, and thankfully doesn't steal from your favorite creator. As Cooper is a free browser extension that automatically finds, tests, and applies the best working coupon codes at checkout.
Oh yeah, bro, we've been through that pitch. Just give us the code, dude. Just give us the code. Yeah, guys, there's a link to his video and my video as well if you guys want to go. Go and click.
All right, so it's 11:55 in the morning, 29th of October, 2025. We're here in Seoul, South Korea, trying to get in some last-minute electrolytes. I completely forgot my glasses at home, so that's smart. So we're gonna be rocking without glasses today. Thankfully, I don't need them that much. We just need some coffee, and we're gonna cover this trial, and we'll be fine. Originally, we're supposed to have 3 testimonies today. It was supposed to be Johnny, Hank, and Bong Bong. But as we found out from watching Bong Bong's streams the other night, in quote, she said,
I can't get over that name, Bong
my
Bong.
lawyer told me I don't have to go. I don't care. I don't want to waste my time for Johnny Somali. Okay. But then, obviously, someone said, hey, you might have to pay a 5 million won fine, which is roughly like, I think it's like $3,500 or something like that. So then she said, I don't know, maybe should just go, worst case. Just talk to lawyer. I heard you could submit a reason for your absence. Worst case, we need to get a flight.
This is apparently what she said on stream when she found out it was a bad idea that she traveled to Australia last minute.
Johnny Somali
Okay, so she's in Australia and she found out she has to be on trial. Now I get it. Okay.
Testimony. I don't know. I'm talking to a lawyer, but they didn't answer. Lawyer said that I don't have to, but just in case I will go to airport. I don't know. Ah, it's so annoying.
By the way, why can't we do this online? Why do you have to be there in person
I don't
for
have
everything?
to, isn't it?
You're not on trial.
I need to pay the fine. If I don't know, I have to pay the fine or not. There is a paper, like absence paper. I can send the absence paper, they said. A fine is...
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to accept the reason of you being on vacation or something, you know?
5,000.
And of course, I see the little Kick logo here. Of course, they're all Kick streamers.
Maximum,
what else would it be?
Oh, I don't think I have to pay that much for that. That's too
you don't
much.
think so? Damn.
Seriously,
Call
too
them.
much.
Like, it wasn't until after she found out she was committing a crime and could get hit with heavy fines that she realized, oh, this might be a bad idea.
Typical Kick streamer behavior.
Okay. Yep. This entire case just has a whole group of fascinating people, to put it lightly.
So we got to court, and this is what happened according to our notes. At 1:51,
these are all just freaking dumbasses, bro. 3 stooges. Let's go.
The prosecutor enters the courtroom. All indications show that the prosecutor is intending to use the massive TV that is inside there, possibly to show evidence. However, if witness testimony is canceled, that might not happen. And shortly after, the bailiff started talking about calling Hank to see where he is. At 1:57 p.m., they're all setting up the monitor, connecting it to the computer. A second prosecutor is now in the room, making sure the setup is ready. The prosecutor plans to show the video. The bailiff then asks if any witnesses are in the room. Then shortly after, Johnny's lawyer peeks into the courtroom just like last time, checking if he's here, and then he leaves. So at 1:58 p.m., we find out that Youngman is actually in the building. So that's showing us that there's going to be a testimonial from him, even though they settled. At 1:59 p.m., Johnny and Hank and the lawyers enter the court and sit at the front row. Both are wearing black suits, and Johnny is carrying a smoothie or something like that.
Look at him being all dressed up and acting normal for once. How is it that these guys are able to pretend or actually just act normal for a little while in court and then go out there and do such crazy things on stream? He could be easily doing other content, right? Especially if it's not bringing him any money. I mean, it did work for iShowSpeed and some of these other guys, but clearly, if you've been doing this for a couple of years and it's not working for you, you gotta pivot, my guy. You gotta pivot. You can clearly dress like a normal person. You can clearly act like a normal person. So just do it.
Lawyers enter the court and sit at the front row. Both are wearing black suits, and Johnny is carrying a smoothie or something like that. At 2 p.m., the lawyer is consulting with the interpreter. And this time, we also notice that Korean press is here. Last time, they didn't show up. But just after 2, the judge enters the court, and the judge reads out the case number and calls Ramzi Khalid Ismail to the defendant's stand. Johnny carries a backpack and an empty Starbucks cup. At 2:03 p.m., Ramzi pulls out a pile of documents from his backpack.
Gotta have my Starbucks.
Lawyer is submitting his written opinion on evidence. This is basically just his argument for his innocence. And the judge receives it and glances at it. Because yesterday, the defense counsel submitted his opinion regarding the settlement. The judge asked the lawyer about the evidence, and the lawyer says the only new addition to the evidence is the settlement with Youngman. The defendant
The craziest thing is, if you're a live streamer, you're doing all of this live on Kick, Twitch, whatever, they don't need to go out of their way for evidence. Like, that's the best thing. But they literally have like days worth of footage over there of him doing
denies
all this
charges
stuff
of deepfakes, saying there was no intent.
Over weeks, over
he
months.
also claims that the materials cannot be used as humiliation. He admits the distribution, but denies that it can cause harm in the form of shame. The prosecutor then submits evidence.
That's not up to you to say, my guy, especially in Korea.
Witness Bong Bong is not present today, as we kind of expected, honestly, because, you know, she's in Australia. And apparently she sent in a formal request saying that she wanted to attend after about a month. Then at 2:11 p.m., the first witness, Youngman, is going to take the stand. Youngman chose to make his testimony private, so we won't be hearing his testimony. Hank apparently will also give a private testimony, and the courtroom has been cleared. We're all waiting outside at this point. Everyone left the courtroom, and this kind of left Hank hanging, like right outside the court door, and it seems like he requested to be put back into witness protection, which was kind of odd because, I mean, no one even went up to him. No one was trying to like clip farm him. I see no point in trying to clip farm Hank.
Listen, even though most likely nothing's gonna happen to him, like, it's still cool to be in witness protection. I would just still do it. Like, if any reason I would have to do that, I'd do it just to see what it's like.
Speculations is Youngman is likely going to give a pretty neutral testimony that will neither help nor hurt Johnny. And we later found out that Youngman is not the one who requested the private testimony, that it was actually the judge's decision. At 3:51 p.m., the courtroom is reopened to the public, and the testimony lasted approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes. The lawyer makes the 30-minute argument where Johnny essentially denies obstruction of business at Lotte World because Lotte World claimed that he stopped the ride for 30 minutes. In reality, it was like 10 to 15 minutes, so he just denies the whole claim, but he's already pleaded.
He went to like some place and stopped a ride for 15 minutes? What do you honestly have to be doing to
guilty
to
of that
do
charge?
that?
So it doesn't make sense.
These guys are living in like God mode, kind of, you know? Like, they get to do whatever they want, but then, yeah, there are consequences, I guess, so never mind.
Why they're trying to negate it right now. The lawyer then also said that, hey, the Lotte World charges of the whole child harassment, that was dropped, so that should be taken into consideration as well, according to the attorney of Johnny. So Johnny's attorney is trying to paint him out as innocent because that charge was dropped. But then they scheduled the next
My man did nothing wrong. Let's go.
Hearing for February 11th, 2026. And then Johnny, before the court could leave, he stands up and asks the judge if he can do an expedited trial. And he wants essentially a speedy trial since he has family and obligations in America. And the judge immediately refused Johnny's request.
Let's go.
After the trial, I asked Johnny what his strategy was with all this, because all of this does not make sense. I don't understand why he's out here uploading videos of him actively harassing people in South Korea while he's currently on trial. But he
was still uploading videos of him harassing people as he was on trial, bro. The grind is real, dude. I bet he has like a pre-recorded list of videos that he's gonna post when he's still in jail. That would be amazing.
He wanted to do an actual interview.
And props to the judge for straight up refusing to have an expedited case. You're not better than anybody else. Actually, you're kind of worse.
I don't want to give him an interview as he's already been interviewed a bunch. People know his story. They don't care about what he has to say. They just want to see the trial outcome. So I asked him to his face, like, why is he uploading videos on YouTube of him being disrespectful in Korea while he's in trial? But instead of giving me a straight answer, he just lashed out at me and insulted my family because it was obvious he was having an awful day and was trying to get some sort of reaction out of me. So hopefully he enjoys his extended stay out here in Korea, as his next trial date is out in February. So Merry Christmas.
Dude. His next trial is in February. He's gonna be there for so long. Merry Christmas, bro. That's savage.
For example, Youngman's trial was expedited because he was one of the people who decided to throw a few bricks through the courthouse windows, along with the
What kind of lives are these guys living? Like throwing bricks through courthouse windows, dude. Let's go, dude. That's some. I actually would watch that content. I want to see.
62 others were actually charged. I don't know if 62 other people actually threw bricks through the courthouse window, but
let's go.
62 people were charged in that case. So Johnny will now be stuck here for a while, and if Bong Bong doesn't show up for the next trial, it can be delayed for another 3 months, and so on and so on. And the judge, in response to Johnny's trial expedition request, was that other foreigner trials have been going on for over 2 years, and that he's not special, so he too will just have to wait. So I mean, this is just one massive warning to never harass innocent people on the street and disrespect people's culture for just views online, because clearly it is not worth it.
Just a reminder, guys, he was making like $1,500 a month, and he owed the other guy like $30,000. He's gonna be probably more popular because of going to prison than anything else he's done his entire life. So I think he's achieved his goal. I wonder if he's gonna be able to live stream from prison. That would be kind of cool.
Happy Halloween. My son has me dressed up as a World War I fighter pilot because he's also a little pilot himself. And I also wanted to quickly say this is basically your last chance to get the limited edition Matt City Halloween collection, which is on matt.city, and also the court sketch print from the first time we went to the Johnny Somali trial. Both of those links will be in the top pinned comment.
So another thing that was said was that if Bong Bong, or whatever her name was, doesn't show up to this next trial, it's going to be pushed back another 3 months. So I wonder if that's going to actually happen. She's probably going to have to pay some extra fines, but that would be kind of cool if she didn't show up and he had to spend some extra time just to get his trial going. We're going to be following this case closely, so stay tuned, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Take care.